the heat down a little bit here. All right, let's get a coffee. But don't knock the camera off the thing. Anytime. Okay. 1 moment, please, he said. Yes, I'd like a small senior coffee, 3 milk, 2 Splenda.
Anything else?
No, that'll do it.
2 Splenda, correct?
2 Splenda, 3 milk.
All right, $1, second window.
Thank you. $1. Second window. Second window.
$1. You want some napkins?
Just a few at this time. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, let's go over here. All right, folks, we'll shut the car off here. On a day like this, we need some coffee. It's a little flap, just nothing much, except to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Primarily, that's what this video is about. And it's not going to be very long, I promise that. Now, this is my second coffee of the day. I got to start off a day with coffee, you know. Especially a chilly, rainy one. Although it isn't bad today. Tomorrow is supposed to be real cold. So, well, it's officially winter. Tomorrow, definitely be, even though there's no snow. All this rain will freeze up. The doors will probably be frozen shut on the car. It's supposed to get cold tonight, so anytime it rains and then it freezes up, well, the doors freeze. Have a hard time opening the door. And so forth. That happens in every vehicle we ever had. So a long warm-up is required. And at these gas prices that we're paying here in Connecticut, actually all over the country, it's very uneconomical. I don't get 20 miles to the gallon in the wintertime. The last few mornings, I ran it for about maybe less than 10 minutes when it's cold, just to keep the windows frost-free and everything. Because if you don't, it appears right back on again. You can clean your windows, and then it's got like a frozen haze on the outside. So what you got to do is you got to run the heater. And in this car, it takes a long time for the heat to come up. But anyways, so it'll be a long warm-up tomorrow, so I won't be getting 20 miles to the gallon, and that's the best I get on this minivan. It's a big, heavy car, you know, so it's got to be expected. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for for the kind words for both Tommy's songs and also the Uncle Dorco skit. I'm glad we did it when we did, because weather's going to go downhill rapidly from now on. So I want to again wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I do have one question for you out there. There's been some things on the news and I guess on the internet. My wife's been reading to stuff the turkey or not to stuff it. Some recommend not to stuff it. My wife has always stuffed the turkey. Her mom has always stuffed the turkey. Her grandmother always stuffed the turkey. My grandmother always stuffed the turkey. And we're not dead yet. The turkey will be dry if not, and kind of burnt if you don't stuff it. So my wife is up in the air about that. I think she should just stuff it, and don't worry about all these things that are coming out on the internet, which is a lot of BS anyways, most of it. The main thing is your stuffing should be cooked, of course. So I feel she should stuff it. And it's a lot of work, Thanksgiving, it's harder for her every year to do this. We ended up getting a 14-pound turkey. We couldn't get a 10-pounder, and that's quite a bit for just the three of us and my brother, which would make 4. So I just want to see what your opinions were, to stuff or not to stuff, What she does is she stuffs the turkey, and then she has a Pyrex container of stuffing outside the turkey and puts that in the oven, so that gets cooked as well. And there's usually so much stuffing left over that, the next few days we have it, and then, there's still a little left, and we usually have to toss it because you can't keep it too long. Turkey sandwiches go on for about a week or so, and after that we're kind of leery about using it, And like I said before, I bring my brother a big plate of turkey dinner plate. He likes the legs, so he gets both of those. White meat and dark meat. My wife makes out a nice one of those big divided plates for him. I don't know what's the matter with my mind these days. And stuffing and cranberry sauce and I can't think of the other vegetables that we usually have. What is with my mind? I'm going blank lately. Turnips, yeah, and squash. Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, my mind, honest to God, cannot memorize things anymore. It's getting worse. It comes with age, So, that's primarily it. I'm not really going to be making any videos before Thanksgiving, so I figured I'd make this one here. Gets too cold. I don't run any heater in the shop other than a 350-watt electric heater, which I keep going all the time. But when it gets 30 degrees or much below 40 outside, it's still cold. I got the heater under the bench, and I could put it up to 750, but that'll push the electric bill up even higher than it is now. So we're not doing that, and there's nothing important that I have to do in the shop at this time anyways. I don't have projects going on and stuff like that, like a lot of people do. And so, primarily, I just go in there and I listen to hams. So, anyways, Nothing happening. We just have a Thanksgiving dinner at home, which we always do anyways. When my mother-in-law was alive, then we used to have her over at the house for Thanksgiving. I can have my brother over, but I told him we'll bring the Thanksgiving dinner over like we did last time, last few years. And he gets everything we have, you know, including the goodies, like the, he likes those peppermint patties. I can't eat them things anymore. You know, those little mints, the peppermint patties. I don't know what it is with them, but I cough my head off when I eat them. It does a number on me. I'm choking on the damn things. The Junior Mints, I used to love those when I was a kid. I can't eat them anymore. I cough my head off on them, and my brother does too, but he loves them. But we don't get the Junior Mints. We got the bigger ones. You can't get the box of mints. Years ago, you used to get a box of mints for $1. You used to get them in most every store. You know, the long box about maybe 10 inches long, and they're all loose in a box, all lined up. And, you know, they're mint patties, probably about 2 inches in diameter. You can't get them anymore. When you can get some of them like that, you pay a lot of money and you get only a few in a bag. It's like everything else nowadays. You rip it off. Do you ever notice in some of the stores now, even in Stop and Shop, not all the shelves, but they don't price their things? You get sticker shock. You used to have a little label underneath the product. Some of the things are not labeled anymore because the prices are going up so high on a daily basis, and that they don't bother pricing them. So you either got to ask how much this is, and you know, and then you got to stand in the damn line to find out, or you go up to the register and get sticker shock. I had a breakfast at a nice little restaurant that they opened about a year ago. So I don't go to DJ Campus Kitchen as much in New London because this one's closer. It's a nice restaurant, but because I can't see the menu because the print is too small, and I got a magnifying glass with me, but it doesn't bring it up far enough. And I have a little one of my viewers sent me, really nice. But the problem with carrying them things, they get scratched up in my pocket all the time. You know, no matter what pocket I put it in, the lens gets scratched up and I have to throw it away after a while. But I wanted to get some corned beef hash, which I normally don't get too often at the restaurant. And I asked the waitress, does the home fries come with it? I really didn't need home fries with corned beef hash. And she said, yes, it does. There's two kinds of hash they have. They have the one in the can, is what she said. That's the kind we have at home occasionally. We try to get the roast beef hash instead of the corned beef hash at home because it's less fatty and it doesn't bother my wife's stomach as much. We don't eat it that much, but we do like it. But it's very hard to find the roast beef hash in a can. A Harmel brand, I believe it is. Very, very difficult to get. We can once in a great while get it, so we end up having to get the corned beef hash. But anyways, the restaurant said we have two kinds of hash. We have she makes homemade corned beef hash, and we have the canned. So I told the waitress, I'll try the homemade. I asked if the corned beef is tough. Because back when we used to go to, you remember Big Belly Kelly? I miss him. He's doing good the last I heard, by the way. But Mary, my neighbor, who used to work for him in a special needs school, he was running it, and he still does. But she moved out last year, so I don't get the update on Big Belly Kelly anymore. But the last I heard, he was doing good. But anyways, when I used to have breakfast daily over there, and I used to spend $10 a day over there, and I'd be broke all the time, but they're great people, and I wanted to support the restaurant. But anyways, he would make brisket corned beef hash, and I had a hell of a time chewing it. I had to kick a lot of that stuff off to the side. I just could not eat brisket corned beef. I'm not sure what it is, but I didn't like it. So I asked the waitress at this other restaurant I was telling you about here, what kind of hash is it? Is it the brisket type? And I guess she didn't know what I was talking about. And I said, well, I'll try it. So she brought it over, and I got home fries. And I didn't want the home fries. Well, I did, I said, but if it came with it. And she said, yes, it does. But it didn't. Actually, it did and it didn't. They charged me $2 for the coffee, so it cost me $12 for that breakfast, not counting the tip. So that was an expensive breakfast. And they gave me the canned corned beef hash, which was good. Same stuff that we have at home. But she didn't give me the homemade one, which I asked for. So there's a little communication difference there anyways. But if it had been a brisket type of corned beef, I would not be able to chew it because I got no damn teeth. You know, I got no teeth at all to chew with. It takes me forever to chew with stuff. It's getting to a point where I can't even eat a grinder anymore. I gotta bite it off. So, but I have no problem with home fries, but I can't have hard pieces. And I can't eat bacon. It's too hard. Never could. My wife, not my wife, I mean my mom, years ago, she had all her teeth out when she was younger, and of course she can't eat grinders or bacon or any of that stuff anyway, so, you know. But it was a good breakfast, very good, very filling. I ate all but one slice of toast because I just couldn't eat anymore. But when I got the bill, it was almost $12. So, I had asked the waitress, I says, I thought the $2 was, there wasn't a charge with the home fries came with it. She said it does, but there's $2 for the coffee. So they get you one way or the other anyways, you know. But anyways, I look forward to going out and getting a breakfast. You know, I don't do a lot of exciting things in life, you know. A lot of guys will go out and throw their money away on stupid beer and stupid cigarettes and dumb things like that. I don't do that. I don't drink booze. I don't waste my money on that junk. And I don't smoke. So my vice is eating once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. I'll get eggs and home fries at this new restaurant. And like this morning I did. Because there's no Jewett City, there ain't going to be any cold weather, and the gas prices are too high to make the trip waste the unnecessary gas. I'm out now because I had to do my brother's shop, and I got his groceries back there. I can't talk too long. I don't want the stuff to defrost. It's kind of cool, so I'm not too worried about it. And so I did his shopping already, and that's why I'm out and having another coffee. But I cut down a lot on the unnecessary driving, except we have to go out to get prescriptions. My wife's got to go to the wound care center. Her leg was doing pretty good, and now the foot is all pretty well cleared up. There's that problem, but the wound on the side of her leg started coming out, and the doctor at the wound care center says, I'm sure you have what they call CREST disease. There is no cure for CREST. They're pulling little tiny bone fragments out of a wound. And that's what they did, they found last week. And it's all red around that area again. The visiting nurse is supposed to come today. And tomorrow she goes to the wound care center. They brought her in, instead of going in there next week, they bring her in, they wanted her to come in tomorrow. And so that's got to be checked into. And, I don't know whether there is no cure for CREST. I know of it. CREST stands for something. CREAST, I believe it's called. And that's the one that we're very worried about her having. and it appears that that's what it is, because he's getting little bone things like calcium coming out of the wound. So they're treating her for it as best they can, and that's it. So it's a never-ending thing. The wound was like almost totally cleared up, and then they got a scab on it. And then when a nurse looked at it, and the nurse is no doctor, you know, so the nurse looked at it and said, oh, it's clearing up good. You got a scab on it and not red or anything like that. When she went to the wound care center last week, they found the little bone fragment underneath the scab, and it was like open underneath there and can lead to infection. So my wife said she can hear it scraping a little bit when they're trying to get that out with the little tweezers. So there's always something. Oh, I'm worried about that. The ulcer, that's what they call, there's a name for it, but it's not a diabetic ulcer. In other words, what they told her, she wouldn't lose her leg for that. Well, I still worry about it. Crest is supposed to be, from what she was reading, is hardening of the skin in time. Everything will, basically what she says is you become petrified, you know, and got us worried. My wife is always on the internet reading this stuff anyways, and I used to do that years ago in the 60s. Didn't have internet in the 60s, of course. When I had physical problems and this was bothering me and that was bothering me, I used to watch Dr. Welby, MD, on TV, and I became a hypochondriac because each time somebody had the same symptoms as I had, and I remember my Dr. Weiss, when he used to visit, he said, you're a hypochondriac. I said, well, this is bad. Could I have a brain tumor? Could I have this? Or could I have that? You know? You know, and then in later years when the internet became available, then I'd be looking things up. Well, I got this symptom and I got that symptom. What could it mean? And then I start worrying about things. Sometimes it's best not to look things up and just go on with life. Just like with the COVID. Get your vaccination and go on with life. Okay, I had to throw that in. And by the way, we got our booster shots, so we're all set there. All right, thank you, and I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey now. And, yeah, to stuff or not to stuff, what should we do? I think we're going to stuff. Stuff it. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.